Welcome to Senior Runner as part of John S's Sports Channel. Now, if you remember, I plug a lot about the Senior Runner, and this is a subject that we really must talk about. Before you turn off, there's a lot more to be said for the Zone 2 running than you think. A lot of things that people don't actually put in their channel videos, and a lot of people don't put them in their running videos, which I'm quite surprised at. So we're going to attack this. How can we make Zone 2 running improve your running quicker than by just taking the 80-20 rule just on face value? Now, it can be done, but we're going to go through how it works before we then go into how something else works, and then we're going to go into how this will work for Zone 2 running. So before we continue, please do like and subscribe. Click that subscribe button to get some more videos from myself as we go on through the year. And we will then get on with the first thing, which is how does it work. We do need to just quickly go over that. So you've clicked like and subscribe. Let's get going. The problem with Zone 2 running is it's always been seen as 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule. We drive it in. But what does that 80% do? When I first started rerunning at about 40, I noticed that my heart rate, when I started running, after about half a mile, it went from resting all the way up to about 130, 135, and quickly into 140 as it sort of evened out. But that straight up line was very steep, very quick, and you could see it going up through Zone 2 very, very quickly, and through to the higher parts of Zone 3 and possibly to the lowest parts of Zone 4 very, very quickly indeed. Far too quickly for my liking. I was trying to do this Zone 2 running, and I'm thinking, as I've said in my videos before, I could run a nice jog and I'm way above. It's gone up that steep line. I'm above Zone 2. I'm in lower Zone 3 at the lowest. So I couldn't jog. If I walked, I was in Zone 1. And I think, how on earth do I get to Zone 2? Now, I have actually said a few things in my earlier videos on how to run Zone 2. So please do look at them if you want to find out how on earth we can do that, should we require to get into that Zone 2 and stay there for that 80% of the time. So that's how we saw it at the beginning. And then we ran probably would be about 5 years before I really started to look at the graphs again. I was just concentrating on getting the form right, the physique right, trying to get the posture right, the stride and everything else. And it wasn't until I started up John S's Sports Channel that I really started to look at this a little bit deeper. And I noticed that my graph had totally changed over those years, trying to keep to the stick to the 80-20 rule. I started off running at the resting rate, and I would slowly increase. And it was an awful lot lower line instead of a nice steep trajectory that went straight from sort of 58 beats a minute to 140 and curl off very, very quickly within half a mile. Now I was doing a good 5 miles before my heart rate had eventually reached certainly not 140. Now it was reaching 130, 132, sometimes 129, but it was going up nice and gently and then curving off at a lower heart rate. So not only had my training brought that top level down just a little bit, my brain knew I didn't need as much oxygen when I was running, so it lowered the overall line at the top level, but it also reduced the angle of trajectory of your increase of heart rate. Now that's important because that enables you to it's that zone 2 that enables you for your brain to think, actually, when he's running at this low speed, this body doesn't need all the oxygen. It doesn't need to burn extra energy. It's got enough. He doesn't need it. So it gently increases it, almost like a thought that in the near future he may need it if he starts running quicker. And your brain controls it better. Now, it is the 80%, the zone 2 running, that will get us into that nice gently increase of heart rate, especially if you're a senior runner. Senior runners have to do more zone 2 running. That's why this video is really important, especially to senior runners, because as you hit this age, your body starts to try and react a lot quicker, because you slow down. So your body's trying to think, oh, hang on a minute. Oh no, I need to speed up. No, quick. And it reacts. When it does react, it's slower to react, but then it's quicker to make changes. And it makes them in bigger steps. So what we're trying to do is stopping our body from making those big changes of big steps when it realizes we're running. So that's why we get a little bit of a gap before it starts zooming up. At our age, it takes a little bit of time before our body thinks, oh God, he's running. And then it reacts, and it reacts far too quickly, and it goes straight up through the ceiling. So we're trying to make that zone 2 running tell it, no, we don't always need to zoom up the heart rate when we're running. Look, zone 2, nice and easy. Look, I don't need any. Why do I need any extra oxygen? I don't. I'm fine. I can talk while I'm running. I'm really good. It's typical zone 2 ability, be able to talk while you're running. So you get to do this zone 2 running, and you're fine, and you've lowered. Now I lowered that angle, and I believe it went from leveling out right at the top at about half a mile to about 5 miles. I could do 5 miles. I could actually do, guys, 2 or 3 miles. In fact, I did once 5 miles at 9.5 minutes per mile, which is a nice steady run. And my heart rate actually stayed in zone 2. And I'm looking at it thinking, I'm still in zone 2. What on earth is happening? I realised that this zone 2 running had actually enabled me to run zone 2 at a higher speed, because my brain knew I didn't need it. I really just didn't need it. And it slowed down the heart rate increase. So they're the things that it does physically that you need to know. Now, let's just quickly look at the 20%, the speed running. How do we tend to do our speed running, guys and girls? How do we do it? We sit just below the level that where we start to become anaerobic, don't we? We just sit below it, and we just edge above. We just edge above. And the reason is, as soon as you start edging above, you're telling the body, look, I might be able to do this without you going, super hyper with my heart rate. It's already, high zone 4, possibly the low zone 5. I don't need really, and I don't really want to take my heart rate that high anyway. So your body is reacting to you doing these little, just trying to keep it below. And it's best if you do just trip over it now and again. Just go over that anaerobic. Just go, and that's why they say, you measure, especially with the Garmin watch, that you go for the Connect app. It'll measure how much anaerobic exercise you do, and that's why the anaerobic's always right back at the bottom edge, because yes, you need it. You definitely need it. But then you'll go for the threshold running, and it's just below the anaerobic level, and it just takes you up to it, but not quite over it. Why? Because just tipping into it, making sure you get some of those really hard, sharp runs for short periods actually does help you be able to go quicker, and without your body welling up the heart rate. Now, how does this help us with this video? Well, think about it. How did it help with the anaerobic exercise? How did tripping up into it gently, bump, 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 Why did that work? Well, that worked because while you're at a heart rate, doesn't matter what heart rate, you're at this level heart rate, and you just tip it up a little bit with speed, and you're just starting to get that heart rate going a little bit because you're going a little bit quicker. And you're going past that anaerobic level. Your body realizes that we're going a little bit quicker now. And then before it can react, especially when we're our age, of course, senior runners, you tip it back down again. Your heart rate realizes you've just run a good sprint. And actually, you've not been given any extra heart rate. So why do we have to change? Why do we have to increase it? We don't. So it doesn't. And it keeps your heart rate nice and low. And it will bring down that heart rate just enough so that you can actually run quicker without actually going into that state of being anaerobic. So it's very, very good because your brain just thinks, we've done this before several times. It stops after about 30 seconds and it goes back down again a couple of notches. Brilliant. How does that help us with Zone 2? Well, a lot of you, including me when I started, went out there, 80% of Zone 2, bang, and we were spot in the middle. If you're taking this video now, if you're still watching it, we're in the middle here. Bang, that's where we're running. We're going up and down. We're trying to make sure that we're in this zone. We're down near the bottom. Let's speed up a little bit. Heart rate's too low. Let's speed it up a bit so we go a little bit faster. Heart rate comes up here, and that's what we're doing. We're just watching this level thing. Oh shit, a bit quicker. No, a bit slow. No, a bit quicker. Oh no, that's about right. No, a bit slower. No, and that's what we're doing. And the problem is, yes, that is helping. What's helping most, though, is the fact that you will probably be doing this, and your heart and your head is looking at your heart, thinking, "Okay, did I actually need a little bit extra up there? Okay, did I? No. Okay." And as soon as it starts thinking, "Oh, I perhaps needed a little bit because we went up near the top," it will start to just tweak that heart rate and boom, 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 a little bit quicker because it needs to get some more oxygen in because you're obviously running quicker, obviously a little bit more stress because so that's what is happening. You are still reducing it, but during those higher peaks, you tend to tell the brain at least, to think, at that level, I might need to just raise it up. Unless you can quickly come back down again. And that's what we're talking about. What level should that little push up and down be is the critical point. And this is a point that people disagree with. This is why you won't find this video anywhere else on the internet, or I'll be very surprised if you do, is because a lot of people disagree on what that level is. Now, if we're looking at anaerobic exercise, we're trying to look at how we do it at the minute, how we're told to do it. We're told to sit on threshold below it and nibble into it, bang, nibble into it, very, very short bursts into that anaerobic level. And I would say we absolutely need to do that with Zone 2. So, conclusion is what we need to do. We run Zone 1. Horror, isn't it? Well, we've got to be running at Zone 2. So we need to be running just on the limit, the bottom limit of Zone 2, right on the bottom of it, so that our body's thinking, our brain's thinking, this is really easy. I can do this forever and a day. Absolutely no reason to up the heart rate at all. And then what we do is we do little incursions. So we're down here, if you like, on the heart rate, and we'll do a little incursion into the top. Boom. Like I said, we're telling the brain, or we're making the brain think, oh, hang on, he's going a bit quick. Should I go a bit up? Perhaps we should go. Oh no, he's took it back down again. Yeah. And by the time you're finished, the brain will get used to just going nipping into the top, whoa, back down again, nipping into the top, back down again. And this is a neat little trick that I've learned with your heart rate, Zone 2 running, that I've not seen on the internet. And this is the reason being, some people think we should be hitting it right in the middle, and that we should be not only pushing it up to the top level up here, but actually taking it into zone 3 and then bringing it back down again. Now, So it may work. It may work for you. If it does, please do like and subscribe and comment down below. Otherwise, I would actually suggest we try especially for senior runners. It's very, very, a very, very good way for senior runners, because it means that we don't have to really push it. We don't have to be constantly pushing into what we call the grey zone, that the running at zone 3 and zone 4 that is quite widely seen as being totally useless, because it doesn't do a hell of a lot, just build up the mileage. And look at the 2-stage running that we did in the last video, and you'll find that actually bringing it down is nice and easy for you. It's nice and easy for the body, and just incursions into that top, so I'd say the top third, top quarter of your zone 2, and then pulling it back down before the body realizes you're going a bit quicker. And because obviously you're going to have to go quicker. You're down here, you go quicker to try and pull the heart rate up here. You go quicker, your heart rate raises to the top. before your body starts thinking, oh, he's going quicker, I really need to I need to rise this a little bit higher now. And before it starts going up and past the zone 2 limit up here, you need to bring down that running and bring down your heart rate as well, so that instead of letting it go up above that level up there, it comes back down again to probably about the bottom quarter of your zone 2. Do try it. Do tell me how it works. It's Senior Runner here with another pretty nifty, I think, trick of the trade for you senior runners trying to run zone 2 running. Thank you. Like and subscribe to Senior Runner.